does it happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, they would not do it again so easily.
Pain conquers all in the ashes of the fall. With our backs against the wall, with our backs against the wall. Watch the empire fall.
So I'm in an alleyway with Pat from Anti-Flag.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good.
This is the final leg of the UK European tour?
For the new record tour. This is the final, and we're happy to be doing the last show in Cardiff. It's a great place.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
I live here, so
Yeah,
definitely.
The castle's awesome, and
was that where you went? You just went exploring?
I did go exploring. I didn't make it all the way to the castle this time, though, but I've been there in the past.
It's the same as every other castle, really, isn't it? Just,
it doesn't change. It's been there for a couple hundred years, so
I'm sure the next time you're around, it'll still be there.
Same thing. Yeah.
The new record, which is fucking amazing.
Thank you.
When I hear it, I feel like this is the end of a trilogy. Started with American Spring,
yes,
then kind of continued with American Fall, and I
feel
like this is. In a weird kind of way in my mind, those three albums
connect.
Are almost like a cycle.
Yes, it is. There are some elements that are common with all three of the records. There are some elements that are very different. Each record was produced with different people. Different producers worked on each of the records, but it is always the four of us, and you can't really change the four of us. We sort of do what we do. So and there's a they were all sort of written in the late Obama Trump era, which is a unique time in world history.
Lots of material.
Yes,
yes, especially from end of last week where he was acquitted, and it was just like.
Yeah,
here we go.
You one of the things it's interesting because one of the things you realize when you're a punk band, as long as we have been, and that old white guys with money never have any consequences, and they always win. So that's what we're living in that world right now, and that injustice is always the thing that we're fighting against, but it's just so clearly being stated right now with Trump, is that no matter what you do, no matter how guilty you are, no matter how much everybody realizes you did exactly what you say you didn't do, there are no consequences.
But he's only safe while he's in there?
He's safe while he's in there, but the power structure, whether it's Trump or the other white guys, they're never going to go after him, even if he's out of office. So it's the way it is all over the world. There's Prince Andrew who's never going to jail for having sex with young people.
No.
So
we just need to find somewhere where there's just like a utopia. I don't know where that is. It's just a great
I think
thing.
they had it with the French Revolution, where they started to round up all the old rich white guys. And
I hear Switzerland's pretty good. They got like a 4-day working week and shit like that. I'm like,
Switzerland's good. Yeah.
So the album is such it's a journey, which is great.
Yes.
And
You
if you put on like a pop punk record, it's pretty much the same.
Yes.
12 but different punk rock records. This one is like a punk rock record, but it's obviously un-American, which when I first heard that, I was a bit kind of like,
the fuck is that?
Yeah, I was whoa, what? But I dig it, and it's just, and I feel like it shouldn't be on an Anti-Flag record because you guys play fast and hard and bleed. Yeah. And then this one just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like,
the beauty of being in a band for as long as we've been in a band, and the fact that people sort of understand what they're going to get with Anti-Flag, is that we can go in different directions a little bit, and it doesn't matter, because if you don't like that direction, there's 5 other records where we're in the direction that you like. So obviously we're not going to go on a complete departure in a record, but there are some songs here and there that we're like, let's try something a little different. And
was that the one that it was in the out of your comfort zone almost, because it's almost country?
Yeah, no, it's Americana. It's fucking, and there's a lot of debate in the band about that song, and there was a lot of battles going back and forth, and a lot of that song was rewritten about 15, 20 times. Yeah, we've spent hours and hours and hours on that song. trying to get, because there was something in it that we liked, and then there were some other parts of it that we didn't like, and trying to pull out what was good about it and get rid of the other bits. So it's Americana. There's a little
Southern vibe.
Yeah, little rock and roll, southern rock sort of.
What was the first song that set the tone for the album?
First song, the way we write is Justin and two both sort of write separately and then bring them in, and then sort of we work through them, and then things change and then go. So the song that I remember that really set the record's pace for me. There's a big rat there. That's nice.
Wow.
Yeah, we're really fucking punk rock today.
Yeah.
That's a cute one.
Just a little rat family.
Yeah. Was Bomb Song. That was one of the songs that really connected with me out of the songs that Justin was working. So how about these ones? I was like, I like that one. And so that one was something that, really set it for me. A song that connected with me that I really liked.
The track that stands out for me, other than the singles like Unbreakable, is just fucking great, and I can't wait to see that live.
Yeah.
Same with Christian Nationalist as well, I think. As an opening
the
track.
one about Unbreakable, the video that the kids did in Africa, if you haven't gotten a chance to check that out, that's pretty awesome.
It's all done with phones and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was awesome, and it's just the spirit of people just caring about something and making things not because it's financially the best thing to do, or not because it'll get you girls. I don't know why people do things in the world, but the fact that they were just passionate about filmmaking and made a video for us for Unbreakable, it was pretty awesome. So that song.
Did they just hit you up and go, "Look, we just made"?
We actually had been following them a little bit. And then we were like, hey, I wonder if they'd do this. And so it all just sort of came together organically. It was pretty awesome.
The track that stands out for me is You Make Me Sick.
Yes.
I feel like if that's not a single or a staple in the...
Is that one connected with
flag
You're an angry person.
I have some issues.
Yeah. That song is definitely... It brings the anger and frustration home. And there's definitely... all of us have a person that we can lay that song onto that it feels like it was written specifically for them. And that one's a great song as well. That one, we haven't been doing that one live as much, but that one is one that we should bring out. Cause,
how do you figure out which songs to semi-retire from the back catalogue and introduce the new ones?
We usually, there's a lot of debate in there. A lot of it comes down to, I don't like playing that song. Just be like, that's not any fun for me to play. So we're like, all right, we won't do that one. Yeah, so there's a lot of debate and a lot of discussion of like, this one, people ask about this one, maybe we should pull this one out. But again, the blessing and the curse of our lives is that we have a number of records. So there are a whole lot of songs that people might want to hear in a show, but we're not going to be able to get to all of them, or we'd be here for an hour or for 12, 15 hours, and that wouldn't be fun for anybody.
Do you find out is the set list a good balance, or do you find it in more towards the last 3 records a bit more?
No, we never wanted to be one of those bands who are like, oh, we're going to play what we want and we don't care what you think. The idea of the Anti-Flag Rock Show is a celebration. So we want to make sure if you only had one record back in 1996 and that's the only exposure you've had to Anti-Flag, we want to play a couple songs off of that record. We want to try and play a little bit of our whole catalog. So if you only have 1 or 2 records, then you'll be able to connect with the show as well.
Well, it's energetic as fuck. Every time I see you, it's just a great show. It's a great punk rock show. I have my issues, but it's all good.
We try. So that's we used to, when we were kids, we'd go to shows and people were like, "Oh, these are all the songs from the new record, and we think they're the best, and fuck you." And we're like, "That's no fun for anybody." So we always try. We want to play a few from the new record because those songs are important to us, and we want people to hear them. But also the songs that we wrote 20 years ago are important to us as well.
When writing the new songs, do you always envision them being played live, or
no? That's actually a failure on our part. Lots of times we write them, and we're like, we're never gonna. I'm like, I'm never gonna play that live. Why are we writing this? And they're like, nah, it's great. I'm like, okay, so so there's debate and discussion within the band, but no, not all of them that we write do we think that are ever going to be played live. Maybe other guys in the band do, but I know they're never.
You just come in,
Yeah, I'm like, all right, we'll record this, and I will never play this song ever again. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, my fiance is 7 months pregnant,
Awesome.
and currently at the moment,
Your life is fucked. I'm
this
gonna tell you.
could be one of my last interviews I do for a while. I miss festival season. I am bummed.
Yeah. It's a whole new world.
He's really big into American Spring. Not so much the new stuff or any of the early stuff, but what you guys did on American Spring, I don't know if it's the beats or
Connected.
that riff. He's just kicking the shit out of Verge.
That's
I tried
awesome.
a bit of Carnifex and a bit of other stuff. Nah, Selena Gomez, nah. Anti-Flag, just
Good.
he's in there. He's doing his own little pit thing. I
That's
don't know what's
awesome.
going on.
I love it.
But yeah, whatever you did on that album. The others, not so much.
No, not so much with that
just
one.
That
That
he's
one,
like, oh, okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, congratulations. Your life is going to be completely different from this point forward. So be prepared for that.
I feel like you got it a bit more harsher than me, whereas I'm just a journalist, so I can just do it low. You have to.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Whatever your occupation is, it is going to become second to a screaming little person.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, yes, true. I travel and play music, which is harder to do when you have a child, but anything you do is difficult to do with a
The
child.
internet helps as well with FaceTiming and
the whole
you don't have to go to a payphone and be like, put money in
those
there.
days. I remember those days. We actually had this little device that you would put up to the payphone, and it'd go beep, and it'd make the sound like you were putting money into it, even when you weren't. So it was a way of scamming the phone company, so we could make phone calls when we were
long distance
touring. Yeah, when we were touring when we were younger. Yeah, luckily we don't have to do that these days.
Just hack onto the venue's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So it's awesome, man. Have you got a favorite song on the album? I always think it's a cliche question to ask, but I think it's such a varied album of what's on there.
I like Unbreakable. I like Hate Conquers All.
How much Trump audio did you have to go through to find that one quote?
I didn't do any of it. Toot brought it in and was like, "Here it is." I was like, "All right, that makes him sound like a putt." So I back it. So yeah, I don't know how much you went through that song. Actually, I think the first demo I heard of that song, our first ideas, he's like, "This is the Trump quote that I want to have in the beginning of the record." So that was part of the whole thing from the beginning. So it was a major part of the whole record, the fact that Trump does not value protest or any discussion other than his own things that he says and his own power is the only thing that's interesting to him.
Yeah, well, he's a dick.
Yeah. But the one thing that's very interesting to us as we've been watching this happen, and it's important as well with the, we have everybody's afraid of the coronavirus or whatever it's called these days, and how these diseases come out of one territory in the world and travel around. But the same thing happens with authoritarianism, and we have different dictators growing up in the world, and then each of them stealing the moves of each other to maintain their power and to continue their power. So the fact that we have Brexit, then we have Trump, and then we have Boris Johnson, and we have, there's authoritarian like people in Hungary, and there's different places around the world. So these plagues are not only literal viruses, but they're also viruses of strongmen and authoritarians. So we have to be very careful. Much like we isolate people who are ill, we should also be isolating leaders who are fucking dicks as well.
Yeah, I feel like the Amish people have got it on point.
They
really do, right?
They do. Except the Amish are really fucking racist. That's
are they?
the problem. Yeah. People just thinking we live in Pennsylvania, so there's Amish, and those groups that are very insular are very afraid of other people. So, so there's good things about the Amish and challenging things as well.
There's no Amish people around.
We can throw stones all we want about the Amish. Yeah.
Awesome, Pat. I love the album.
Thank you very much.
You again.
Yep. Thanks for being here. Yep.